What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about what happened today in the markets. And what do you know, guys? The markets went down today, as they usually do. So the Russell 2000 was the worst performing index, going down 1.57%. Nasdaq went down 1.24%. Dow Jones went down 1.23%. And the S&P 500 went down 1.14%. And why did we have another red day all across the board today? Well, because for the most part we had a tsunami, a cocktail of bad news throughout the weekend. First of all, we had Mr. or Dr. I should say Dr. Fauci saying on Saturday night that the US has to be prepared for very tough weeks and months that are ahead of ourselves because of the Omicron variant of COVID-19, which apparently is way more contagious relative to the Delta variant. And we also had, guys, Senator Joe Manchin saying on Saturday night, I think, as well, that the so-called Build Back Better bill isn't going to be passed. So the markets didn't necessarily like that because that bill, let's say that it would have implied, if it had been approved, that 1.7 trillion more dollars would have been poured into the economy of the US. And actually, Goldman Sachs cut its forecast when it comes to GDP growth for Q1 of next year from 3% down to 2%. So that's also another factor that might have spooked the markets throughout the weekend. And today we had a weird day in general terms, guys. So we have Omicron fears and travel stocks went up. And we also saw electric vehicle stocks going down in a lot. Actually, because the so-called Build Back Better bill would have implied that whoever wants to buy an electric vehicle would have gotten a greater incentive of something like $12,500, because the current incentive, if you want to buy an electric vehicle, is at around $7,500. So since apparently this so-called Build Back Better bill isn't going to be passed, so the markets decided to sell off out of the electric vehicle stocks. And if we take a look, guys, at the advances and declines distribution, we had a nasty day, guys. Very nasty day. So we had, for the most part, 2,000 stocks going up, and we had 5,500 stocks. I should say actually 5,600 stocks going down, and we had almost 2,000 stocks dropping from 2 up to 5% today. So we had a nasty day all across the board, no doubt about it. And if we go ahead and take a look at the sectors, then we also find a red day all across the board, guys. The 11 sectors went down, led by energy, which got absolutely crushed. Oil went down today a lot, obviously, basically because of Omicron fears. So the energy sector went down today 2.54%. And when it comes to the best performing sectors, and obviously I am quoting best performing sectors, we find two very defensive sectors, guys. First, consumer staples. So this sector went down today 0.66%, and it was actually the best performing sector today. And utilities went down 0.71%. And if we take a look at the most important sectors of the markets, obviously we are talking about, first of all, about the tech sector, which went down today 1.41%. And if we take a look at the financial sector, it also went down today 2.41%. The 10-year Treasury yield also went down, guys. So now we have a situation in which Omicron fears, guys, are no longer being related to health issues. They are being related to inconveniences or problems or issues when it comes to supply chains. And we already know that inconveniences when it comes to supply chains end up creating inflation problems, so to speak, right? So we have a very, let's say, tricky situation as of now in the markets because of Omicron fears, because of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates probably in March. So the markets don't want to go higher. I do believe, if you ask me, and because both the S&P and the Nasdaq 100 are about to enter into oversold territory, and also because the major indices have been going down during 3 consecutive trading sessions in a row, I believe that let's say that the odds are in our favor for us to see tomorrow a turnaround Tuesday. We will see what that ends up playing like. And before going over the indices, I want to show you guys the only trade that I actually took today. I mean, I bought calls of IWM, but that trade is still opened. And I also, what else did I do? And I also picked up some shares of Jinko Solar, but those trades are still opened. So today the only move that I made that represented a credit or the fact represented a profit for me, let's just put it that way, was selling a covered call of AMC Entertainment. So today I sold the $55 call that expires on March 18, and I was paid $340. That's all. That's the only money that I made today. And I made some other moves, but I am not gonna show you guys those moves because those trades are still open. So I can say that today was a quiet day for me in general terms. And if we take a look at the S&P 500, and as I said in the introduction of this video, this index went down today 1.14%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,568 points. Something that is worth pointing out if you want to see things glass half full, because guys, let's admit it, we are still on a clear uptrend. The S&P is trading between both moving averages, this 50 SMA and this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So the S&P is not in trouble yet. And despite the fact that the S&P has been going down for 3 consecutive trading sessions in a row. However, guys, take a look at how the bulls managed to hold today as lower support this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. We are talking about the same moving average that the bulls held back in early December. So this is bullish in and of itself. And let's see what happens tomorrow. I think that we are going to see a positive day. That's the reason why I purchased calls of the Russell 2000 of IWM. So the most important area of support, let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. So in terms of support, obviously, guys, the most important area that we need to keep a close watch on is going to be 4,550 points. We are also talking about a former area of resistance back from early September. And in terms of overhead resistance, the most important task that the bulls of the S&P need to carry out tomorrow is going to be taking on 4,600. 4,600 happens to be a former area of resistance back from October 25th. So there's nothing really concerning as of now when it comes to the S&P 500. However, guys, if tomorrow or in the course of this week, we happen to close one trading session below this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, then we might see a shift in momentum, no doubt about it. But as of now, we can make the case that the bulls are still in charge of the S&P 500. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the NDX. And in the case of the NDX, we have a different situation, guys. Nasdaq 100 goes down today 1.10%, and it closed today's trading session at 15,627 points. But in the case of the NDX, let me zoom in a bit more over here. So take a look at how the bulls were unable to hold this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. This is bearish, no doubt about it. Take a look at how this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at around 15,700 points happens to coincide with a former area of resistance that acted as such on many occasions back in September. So needless to say, the most important task for the bulls in tomorrow's trading session is going to be reconquering this 180 SMA and maybe filling the next gap up to 15,960 points, guys. We are looking at a former area of resistance in which the NDX felt back on December 16. And in the case of the bears, guys, because yeah, we can make the case that the bears are already in control of the Nasdaq 100. We can see a clear downtrend on the 4-hour chart, and as of now, this index is trading below, the 50 SMA and the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So I would say that the most important task in bearish terms would be filling the next gap down to 15,400 points. 15,400 points happens to be a former area of resistance back from late August. So good job for the bears. I still believe that we are going to see a turnaround Tuesday, tomorrow, and obviously, guys, we need to keep a close watch on the news that we have on Omicron, because that's the main concern of the markets as of now. But let's see what happens, guys. I think that the bulls tomorrow, obviously, guys, and no doubt about it, need to reconquer this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart near 15,700 points. Otherwise, we might be entering into a deeper correction phase in the NDX. And speaking about technology, let's go ahead and take a look at the earnings report of Micron, which is reporting earnings today. Today I am going to go over the earnings report of Micron and also FedEx. So let's see what is. Take a look at this, guys. Is Micron going up today? Jeez. So Micron went down today 1.17% during regular trading hours, and it closed today's trading session at $82.03. So let me pull up here the 1 day, 1 minute, and jeez, what a respectable push to the upside, guys. Micron is trading after hours 6% up. So I guess that they, beat on earnings by a long shot, and most importantly, I guess that they also up-guided. So let's see what do we have over here when it comes to the earnings report of Micron. Okay, so let's see. So EPS came in at $2.16, beating the estimate of $2.11. And sales came in at $7.69 billion, beating the estimate of $7.67 billion. A beat all across the board. And what about guidance? So here I have guidance. Let's see what is going on over here. So revenue for Q2 of 2022, so for the first quarter of next year, is expected, let me see over here, so versus revenue $7.5 billion. So, no, I don't have the competitive here. Let's see. Okay, I have the competitive when it comes to EPS, guys. So EPS for next quarter is going to come, according to Micron, at $1.95, beating the estimate of $1.86. And when it comes to revenue, it isn't clear. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So revenue is expected at $7.28 billion, whereas Micron is saying that they are going to make $7.5 billion in revenue next quarter. So a very solid earnings report, no doubt about it, when it comes to Micron. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. And if I pull up here, guys, the 1-year chart, Micron is still pretty far away from all-time high. So all-time high for the stock of this company is at $96, which is a price that Micron hit back in early April. So as of now, Micron is trading 15% of the highs. So we still have a very decent discount from all-time high, despite the fact that Micron is running a lot after hours on a better than expected earnings report. So I am going to draw a line over here. And Micron is dealing as of now with a very important area of overhead resistance at $87. $87 is a spot in which Micron felt back on December 13 and also back in November 23rd. So the relative strength index of Micron is at 62 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So we can make the case, guys, that if the bulls of Micron start to consolidate tomorrow slightly above $87, that might be a sign that they are gathering momentum in order to make another push higher and potentially fill the next important gap up to $90. $90 happens to be a former area of overhead resistance back from late April. So if Micron were able to make this push to the upside from $87-ish up to $90, we are looking, guys, at a 4% profit trade. So this is definitely going to be one of the stocks that is going to be on the very top of my personal watch list in tomorrow's trading session. Very solid earnings report for Micron. Ticker symbol MU. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Nike, guys, which should have already reported earnings as well. Let's see what is going on here. And they did. And it looks like Nike is falling off a cliff. No, it is actually going up, guys. So I take that back. So Nike went down today during regular trading hours 2.71%, and it closed today's trading session at $156.98. And as of now, after hours, Nike is up almost 3%. This is an acceptable push to the upside. And let's go ahead and take a look at the live news tab. And I hope for Thinkorswim to show the information complete when it comes to the earnings report of Nike. Okay, let's see what is going on over here. Okay, so revenue came in at 11.36 billion dollars versus a street consensus of $11.25 billion. So they beat on revenue. EPS came in at 83 cents. Expectations relative to expectations of 62 cents. So, and 63 non-GAAP. So this is non-GAAP, or is it? It doesn't say if it is non-GAAP or GAAP. But regardless of that, they beat on EPS as well. And do I have guidance over here? Let's see. Okay, do I have guidance? So it looks like Micron and Nike are wrapping up the earnings season with very solid results, guys. So let me see if I have brand digital sales increased 12%. So digital sales increased 12%, which is very positive. Okay, and let me see. Do they say anything about disruptions in supply chains and so forth? So no, I don't have guidance over here, guys. Not yet. I'm gonna have to take a deeper look later on today. But we can make the case that at least guidance should have come out in line, guys. Because let me scroll down a bit over here, and pricing promotions. No guidance yet. But very solid earnings report, guys, for Nike. Yeah, I don't have any guidance-related information. And let's see what could be potentially happening over here tomorrow. Let me pull up once again the 4-hour chart. And this is still not a good-looking chart, guys. We can see a death cross over here. You guys can see how this 50 SMA just crossed below this 180 SMA on December 14. We are still downtrending on the 4-hour chart. So I would like to see Nike, guys, either paying a visit. This would be a spot in which I would feel comfortable picking up some shares of Nike. So I would like to see Nike either paying a visit down to $156 and finding a good support over there. We are talking about a former area of support back from mid-July. So this would be a spot in which I would be comfortable picking up some shares of Nike at. Picking up some shares at $156, then my price target would be the next important area of overhead resistance for Nike at $165. We are talking about a former area of resistance back from mid-September and also back from late July. If I were able to take this trade from, let's say, $156 up to $165, I am looking at a 6% profit. This would be a very solid profit. However, if Nike happens to be a runner tomorrow, guys, I am also going to be keeping a close watch on this next gap. I am going to be keeping a close watch on the next area of resistance that I just told you guys about at around $165, because I'm thinking, guys, that if Nike can take on $165 on good volume and momentum, which could be the case, take a look at the relative strength index of Nike. It is at 41 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. I think that Nike could fill another gap up to $172, a previous area of resistance in which Nike felt back in early December. So if we were able to take a momentum trade from $165 up to $172, we are looking at a 4% profit. So this is another stock that tomorrow is going to be on the very top of my personal watch list, no doubt about it. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Bbig, Vinca Ventures. And this is, we can make the case that this is a meme stock that has gotten absolutely killed. So Vinca Ventures went up today 2.61%, and it closed today's trading session at $3.15. And take a look at this, guys. The stock of this company is trading as of now 71% of the highs. And obviously Vinca Ventures went up today in a day in which most of the stocks went down. The vast majority of the very vast majority of stocks ended up going down, but I didn't see any good news, guys, to justify this push to the upside. I don't see anything, at least here on Thinkorswim. So did Vinca Ventures bottomed out at $2.38? Maybe that might be the case. We can make the case that as of now, Vinca Ventures is trading above this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, slightly above $3. And today the bulls failed at this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $3.68. This moving average, this 180 SMA, happens to coincide with a former area of resistance back from late July. So I'm thinking, guys, that if momentum happens to keep on going on, in the case of Vinca Ventures, I might be tempted in order to take a trade on Vinca Ventures if the bulls can take on $3.68 or $3.70. In other words, if the bulls can take on this 180 SMA on good volume and momentum, in which case I'm thinking that the bulls of Vinca Ventures have a first shot of filling the next gap up to $5.41, which happens to be a former area of resistance back from early November and also back from mid-June. So if we were able to take a breakout trade on Vinca Ventures once we had confirmed that this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart was broken to the upside, let's say that we pick up some shares of BBIG at $3.85, and if we happen to be able to write them up to $5.20 each, we are looking, and get these guys, at a 27% profit. So watch out for Vinca Ventures potentially breaking out of $3.71 and filling the next gap up to $5.34. And before going over AMC Entertainment, which is going to be the very last stock of this video, I want to take a look at Shiba Inu, guys, and what is going on in the case of SHIB. Let me pull up here the 4-hour chart. And if you guys remember, I told you when SHIB was trading at these crazy levels near all-time high, 88, 85, 70, 00 and stuff like that, I told you I am not going to pick up SHIB at these levels. And I said, if you guys remember, I would like to pick up some SHIBs or some Shiba at 29.20 or near 30.00 or something like that. And I happen to be right, guys. Take a look at the haircut that SHIB has had recently, or ever since this dot coin hit all-time high. That was back in late October. So as of now, SHIB is trading. Let me pull up here the trend line, guys. So SHIB is trading at 65% of the highs, and when it hit 29.22 earlier on today, it was trading almost 70% of the highs. So I said, guys, that I wanted to pick up SHIB near 29.50, 29.20, right? However, the technical chart, tells me to be patient, guys, because take a look at how every single attempt that Shiba did in order to try to go higher was rejected in a systematic way, guys. Take a look. Here, over here, Shiba tried to go higher, rejected. Over here, Shiba tried to go higher, rejected. The same situation here. Also here, it tried to go up, rejected, rejected, rejected. So I would like to start a small position on Shiba Inu, but I need to see consolidation slightly above 29.22. Remember that 29.22 acted as resistance on many occasions back in October. So I don't want to be caught in a bull trap when it comes to Shiba Inu. So I am going to keep a close watch on this dog coin, and if I happen to see SHIB consolidating, as I just said, slightly above 29.22 for at least 2 more days or 3 more days, then that might be a sign that the bulls of SHIB are legitimately, let's just put it that way, gathering momentum in order to make a legitimate push higher, in which case they might be able to fill the next important gap up to 43.36. 43.36 happens to be a former area of support back from early November. So yes, I am willing to pick up Shiba Inu, but because of this horrible downtrend and because of the fact that every single attempt that Shiba Inu did in order to try to go higher was rejected in a very, clear way, I am simply going to wait for confirmation, guys. I really need to see SHIB starting to consolidate for at least 2 or 3 days, slightly above 28.96 or 29.00 in order to pick up some Shiba Inu. And the last stock of this video is going to be AMC Entertainment, which seems to have come from the dead, guys. AMC went up today 1.99% and it closed today's trading session at $29.70. So let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and the main aspect, guys, that is worth pointing out over here is that the bulls of AMC managed to hold as lower support today this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $27.39. So we also closed, or the apes of AMC also closed above, slightly above actually, a very important area of lower support at $28.30, which happens to be a former area of support back from early May. So I'm thinking, guys, that if the bulls of AMC start to consolidate slightly above $28, which they are for the most part already doing, and if they are able to burst above an area of overhead resistance in which they fell today and also last Friday near $31, then I'm thinking, guys, that once the bulls can take on $31 on good volume and momentum, they are very likely to be able to fill the next gap up to $34.43. $34.43 happens to be a former area of support back from mid-October and also back from late September. So watch out for a momentum trade on AMC, guys, because from $31 up to 30, what is going on with my mouse? So, and as I was saying, from $31 up to $34.34, we are looking at an 11% profit trade. And take a look at the RSI. It is at 60 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint in AMC, terms. So I'm thinking, guys, I am, optimistic over here. I feel upbeat about AMC, and I'm thinking that we are going to see AMC bursting above $34 sooner rather than later. And with AMC Entertainment, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the bilingual stock market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at bilingual stock market. And remember that this is the bilingual stock market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in 2 different languages, in English and Spanish, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.